These are all fibrous roots. This is a maize stalk. You can see here all the roots are generating from the stem. So these are fibrous roots. Dicotyledonous plants have taproot and monocotyledonous plants have fibrous roots. Now what is this dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous? The seeds which can be divided into two parts, those are called as dicotyledonous seeds. And the seed which cannot be divided into two parts, they are called as monocotyledonous, single cotyledon. Okay. Now as you can see here in this experiment, you have to take some water in a glass jar, put a plantlet in it in such a way that its roots are dipped in the water, mark the water level on the jar and add 5 ml of oil to the water and record the water level on the next day. This is on the first day, this is on the next day. So immediately your observation will be the water level has decreased and we have added oil on the water. So when we are adding oil on the water, that means water will not get evaporated which is there in the inside the jar because it is covered by a layer of oil. So this definitely means that water has been consumed by the plant. Plant uses water to transport all its nutrients to roots, stems, leaves, flowers. So this proves that water acts as a medium for transport of nutrients and minerals. Use your brain power. What would have happened if plants like tamarind, banyan and mango had fibrous roots? Now children, we know that fibrous roots, they generate from the stem and they cannot go deep into the soil. And these plants, rather trees, tamarind, banyan and mango, they are big trees. So how are they going to stall straight in the soil? Isn't it? So the roots of these plants should be strong enough to support the trees. And fibrous root cannot do this. If the roots are fibrous, these trees will easily get uprooted and will fall down. Next, what will happen if the root tip is injured? If the root tip is injured, the growth of the plant will be stunted. Initially, the tree will try to survive, but injured root may not absorb water and minerals from the soil. This will make the tree weak. The support of the tree will also become insufficient and the tree will eventually die. Which type of roots do the fenugreek, spinach and onion plants have? Just now we have seen the experiment of onion. So you know onion has fibrous root and the roots, they emerge from the disc-shaped structure from the onion, which is a stem. Fenugreek has a taproot, but it does not travel deep down into the soil because for obvious reasons it is not required. Fenugreek, that is methi, it is not a big tree, it is a small herb. Spinach also has taproot which bears many secondary roots and some of these are seen growing horizontally in the soil. Do you know? Roots emerging from the trunk and branches of a banyan tree grow towards the soil. These roots are called prop roots. What could be the use of these prop roots? In the beginning, the banyan tree has very few prop roots, but later on, their number increases so much that it appears like a small forest. Here, a banyan tree is a big one. So the roots that start growing from the tree towards the soil, those prop roots, they actually act like pillars and give support to the big banyan tree. In Kolkata, a 250 years old banyan tree in the Indian Botanical Garden covers a very large area. It is supported by thousands of prop roots. Okay, so find out in your neighborhood if there is any banyan tree, and you will see the prop roots over there. So, children, today we have studied the parts of plants and the type of roots. What is the role of roots? Now, let us find out why are the underground parts of plants like radish, carrot, beet, and sweet potato thick and fleshy and swollen? And which part of the plant are they? Now that you have studied adaptations, now that you have studied the parts of plants, try finding out the answer to these questions. Thank you.